Welcome back to the Barrel Zone Thursday morning edition. We have two kind of short cards. We will break down all games as usual. We will use Bet365 for the NBA breakdown. They have all the lines available. Most books are off the board, and we will go to the sportsbook review for the MLB card. All right, let's get into it. First game on the board. Chicago Bulls at the Charlotte Hornets, 2.5 point spread. Bulls road favorites. We will have Lavin and Vucevic likely back for this game on the Bulls side. So the Bulls are suddenly fully healthy, although I do have some question marks around them as Vuce is still dealing with some kind of tightness, and Lavin is coming off a lengthy COVID related absence. So him being back, first game back, likely on minutes restrictions. Vuce not being fully healthy, I don't think you can really back the Bulls here. I would make this Bulls minus 3.5 if they were at 100%, but I don't think they are. Hornets still with multiple key injuries. Bridges is still out. Graham and Hayward, most importantly. So yeah, I have issues with both squads. Hornets, the injuries, Bulls, us not knowing their two best players' health status and conditioning, basically. The Bulls are 3.5 games left out of the play-in spot with 7 games to play. So this is kind of the last shot, and it's still a long shot that they get in, but I think we will see a decent effort. I agree with the line 2.5 to 3. I think it's fair with the questions around Vuce and Lavin, and the Bulls just generally playing not great basketball recently. Brooklyn Nets at the Dallas Mavericks, 3.5 point spread. Brooklyn a road favorite. Mavs without Porzingis and Kleber. Brooklyn still without James Harden. There is no updated info. Last update was like almost a week ago, and they said that he's still ways away. So hopefully he will be back by the playoffs. Nets are now only 1 game up on Milwaukee. They're closer to the third seed than the first seed. So they should play with some urgency here. The Mavs have been playing nice lately, 6-2 in the last 2 weeks with a plus 10 point differential. But I'm not really high on them. I don't think they really have a high ceiling. This game is likely a 3-point shooting contest, but I have to lean towards the Nets. Although I think they are a bit overpriced, that would make this closer to 3 than 3.5, almost 4. But Porzingis, I mean, he played just 1 game in the last 7 games. He haven't really looked good all season. He haven't really looked healthy all season, and this is a stars and scrubs lineup, and I'm not sure Doncic can hang with Brooklyn on his own, and they don't have anyone to guard KD. I also don't want to upgrade Dallas on just because their current strong streak, as they have been playing the Kings twice, Detroit, Golden State. They haven't been playing too many tough games recently, as they have the easiest second half schedule in the entire league. So staying away, leading Brooklyn, but I think they are rightfully overpriced a bit. Washington Wizards at the Toronto Raptors, 1.5 point spread. The Raptors home favorites. I understand why the Raptors are favored here, and I don't think you should look at the Wizards here, even if they have been playing way, way, way better recently than the Raptors. So this is the third game in 4 nights and the back-to-back for Washington. They fell short by 1 point last night against the Bucks. They still covered, but Westbrook played 40 minutes. Beal played 39 minutes. They are at this point, the Wizards are 3 games up on the Raptors. So they are sitting at the 10th seed, the Raptors 11th seed. Basically, it's another one of these last chance games for the Bulls. If they don't win this, they are out of it. And I think they should be out of it. I tell you that. I haven't seen anything from the Raptors indicating that they are taking this seriously. They still have a few injuries. OG Anunoby and Gary Trent Jr. won't be playing here. They are just 2-5 in the last 2 weeks, -6 point differential. They are just surviving. But I think they need to head into the offseason, get a good draft pick, just get things in order and come back stronger next year. I don't think this is their season and their off season. So yeah, I won't be playing this. I really cannot trust the Raptors, but I think this is a really difficult game for the Wizards. It's similar to the Memphis Minnesota game. Like now, the Wizards, like Minnesota, they have been playing real good lately. But if you step away a bit and look at the talent level and the matchup, and the Raptors being basically very slightly favored at home when they have Lowry, Fred VanVleet, and Siakam all available. Wizards really in a bad spot. I think you should only bet the Raptors on nothing here. Atlanta Hawks at the Indiana Pacers, 5.5 point road favorite. Atlanta Hawks. This will be one of my stronger leans. You can find fives out there. I think at 5, this is a bet. 5.5, maybe a smaller bet. I think the Pacers are done. We've heard news about their coach Bjorkgren being on a hot seat, and that was 2 days ago. And yesterday they lost to the Kings. They got blown out by the Sacramento Kings, one of the worst teams in the league. And Bjorkgren was shouting with the players. It was really an ugly scene. I think he might be gone as soon as this game starts. I tell you that. And Sabonis played 37 minutes. There was no reason for him to play 37 minutes. They are going with the small ball lineup with Turner out. They also have other injuries. Brogdon Lamb were all out last night. I think they won't play today either. So yeah, if your Sabonis played 37 minutes last night, your dream is not to face Clint Capella today, but that's what's going to happen. Hawks with a huge rebounding edge, huge edge in free throw rate. They are a good defense in the paint. As we know, the Pacers are attacking the rim at one of the highest paces in the entire league. Their shot rate is basically 50% shots, close to 50% of all shots coming close to the rim, and then the rest of the 50% is just shared like equally. And the Pacers are also a bad 3-point defense, which is again could be an issue against this current Hawks team. So yeah, I think I'm fine with laying 5, even 5.5. I think this will be a blowout. We will see way more blowouts the rest of the way. That's something you have to keep in mind. Spreads won't really matter in the last few weeks of the season. Teams are just either giving up, not caring. They are tired, and there is no reason why the Pacers should try to hang here. And we haven't seen any kind of urgency from them. So I think they just they already let go of the rope, and this one is one for the Hawks to lose, and I don't think they will. Memphis Grizzlies at the Detroit Pistons, 10.5 point spread. I think this spread is super off. I show a big edge on the Detroit Pistons. I won't be playing the Detroit Pistons. They have the mile-long injury list again. Grant, Diallo, Ellington, Magruder, Plumlee, DSJ. No, I don't want to get involved. They have a -6 point differential in the last 2 weeks, grading as the third worst offense in points per possession. Memphis playing their third game in 4 nights and the back-to-back. Moran played 37 minutes last night, and they are laying more than 10 points on the road on the tail end of the back-to-back. That's whack. I make this like 6 or 7, so there is a huge edge on the Pistons here, but I can't touch them. I won't be betting teams that are completely out of it and tanking for the rest of the way. So this is just a lean for me. LA Lakers at the LA Clippers. The LA Lakers are unbettable here. So LeBron and Schroeder are out. Schroeder is a huge loss when they don't have LeBron. I mean, he's a great playmaker, and I think he's super underrated when LeBron is not on the floor. If both of these guys are out, that's real bad. And Taylor Horton Tucker also questionable, and the probable list is super long. AD, Gasol, Kuzma, and KCP are all on the injury list as probables. So yeah, I mean, if you look at the list, basically like 90% of the team is on the list in some capacity. I cannot touch this with LeBron and Schroeder out. I would make this Clippers -7. So I'm fine with the 7.5, especially as we have THT as questionable and other guys as probable. Big news for the Clippers: Beverly is back. He won't be like a huge difference maker, but it's good to see old man Beverly back before the playoffs. I think he is still adding some depth, some experience. I like the guy, so welcome back, Patrick Beverly. Final game: OKC Thunder, Golden State Warriors. OKC still has like one win in the last 20 games. They lost four straight games. SGA, Muscala, and Poku are all out, and Dort is now questionable. I don't think he will play. I make this spread 13.5, and that's the number on the board. It's really difficult to lay this many points with Golden State, and I don't think you should do that. There will be number value. I think if you just go by your lines on OKC when this is all done. I think this can get to 14 or even higher. All right, so yeah, small slate, not too many leans or bets. One thing I have to note, lean. One of my stronger leans is the Raptors. I think they will get the W today, but I think the line is right. I make it exactly 1.5. I would need this to be a pick'em or like Wizards -1 to get involved. But Washington is really in a tough spot, and I haven't seen the effort from Toronto lately, so we are not going to get involved there. Detroit Pistons 10.5. That's an outrageous line. I make this like between 6 and 7. They missed tons of guys, but the Grizzlies aren't that good, and laying more than 10 points on the road on the tail end of a back-to-back after Moran playing 37 minutes. That's outrageous. And the strongest look and my only bet so far on the NBA slate, Atlanta Hawks. You can find fives out there. 5.5 is still okay for a smaller bet. I think this will be a blowout, and they should get the W over the Indiana Pacers. All right, we broke down the entire slate in just 10 minutes, just as I like it. We will continue with the MLB slate. Thankfully, we don't have a billion games today, so we can roll through this in 10 to 15 minutes or so. Milwaukee at Philadelphia, Woodruff at Wheeler. Milwaukee slight road favorites -117. Total is 7 juice to the under. The under is the only look the only way I could look here. Both Wheeler and Woodruff are really strong pitchers. Really strong swinging strike rates, no hard contact. Both guys giving up less than 29% hard contact. Both guys have really amazing stats across the board. I couldn't really attack either guy. I like both arms, and I don't really like either of these offenses. The Brewers, Yelich is back to the injured list. Hura is down in AAA as he has been so bad. The Phillies are without Bryce Harper, who is on the IL and will miss at least a few games. The Phillies bullpen is my lone issue in this game, but Wheeler can go deep in this game, and this Milwaukee offense is just so weak that it won't make you scared. So yeah, under 7. I want -15 or 115 or better. So -116 is where I would cut it off. Try to find the -115 on the under 7. That's the wager here. Houston at the New York Yankees. McCullers at Garrett Cole. Almost -200 favorites. The New York Yankees. I think there is value on Houston here. Yes, Cole is amazing. The Yankees are the better team. But we've seen this series, the prices were around like Yankees -120, 130, max 140. And Cole is great, but I mean, McCullers is a great arm, and -200 is outrageous. My line here is -170. So yeah, current plus 175 is some value on Houston. I would need a plus 180 to get involved. McCullers coming off a weaker outing. His walk rate is still pretty high, and he got a bit lucky through the season, but he's still missing bats. 12.5% swinging strike rate, 53% ground ball rate, contact rate at 68%. So he's a good arm. And Cole, yes, he has been rolling, but his schedule so far has been very, very easy, which most people overlook. So he faced Toronto twice, but they didn't have Springer in either games, and they had other guys missing. And the rest of the games for Cole have been Baltimore, the Rays, Cleveland, and Detroit, and those are just easy outings. So yeah, his stats are great. He's a top five arm, maybe top three, but I mean, Houston is a nice offense, and I mean, getting such a big dog price, I think the value is on them. So, if we see further Yankees money, I will be on Houston, but I would need a plus 180 or better. Detroit at Boston, Turnbull at Iowa. Turnbull is a guy I really like. But he wasn't looking right in the last outing. He had only one strikeout and two whiffs on 94 pitches. Through the season, he has like an 8.4% swinging strike rate, way down from last season's, and an 82% contact rate. That's very high facing a Boston team. I think there is still some value on the under. Eovaldi is amazing, 3.6 Sierra. The Tigers have a 77 WRC plus with a 29% K rate against right-handed pitching. They won't do any harm. Eovaldi will roll here, but I think I mean, this is a bit easier matchup for Turnbull than the Yankees. I'm not that high on Boston. It's not an easy out by any means, but it's not like a super bad matchup. I think Turnbull will be okay. He will figure it out, but based on the last outing and him not missing as many bets as I would like, I'm staying away. Texas at Minnesota, lies at Pineda. Game is off the board. Pineda should be a big favorite. My line here is Minnesota minus 186. So minus 186, about 65% implied win probability. Pineda off a strong start. This is a really easy matchup for him. He has a 3.6 Sierra, nice swinging strike rate, not a lot of hard contact, great against righties. I think he will roll here. Lies on the other end, 7.3 ERA, 4.8 Sierra. His whip is over 1.6. He gives up more than 40% hard contact. Fly ball rate at almost 50%. Line drive rate 26% against righties. Righties are really getting to him. He has an 8 plus FIP against right-handers and a 450 WOBA. So yeah, Minnesota should be around minus 186 in my opinion. We will see. I don't think we will find value there. New York Mets at the St. Louis Cardinals. Taijuan Walker and Gant. Sorry, I'm a bit off today. I don't trust either guy here. Walker is easily the better arm of the two, and the Mets are the better team, and the early money has been coming in on the Mets, but still Walker has a 13% walk rate so far in this season, and he has a 31% line drive rate against both sides of the plate, which is pretty bad. So yeah, he is walking too many guys, giving up too many line drives. I won't be backing him for sure. Gant has a Sierra almost at 6. Walk rate at 16.5%, swinging strike rate at only 8.3%. His contact rate is at 80%, velocity way down. He got helped by an 86% left on base rate and a 5.6% home run to fly ball ratio, but this is not a good arm either. I would be looking at the over. I think 7.5 over is some value. I haven't played it yet, but there is a 40 mile per hour wind blowing out by game time. The only issue is that neither of these offenses are good, and the Mets have a strong bullpen, and yeah, it's really difficult to bet an over and expect offense from both of these teams. And Volker may have a good game here. I think I don't think Gant will have a good game, but I could see Walker having an okay game here. But yes, 7.5. I think it's outrageously low, and both teams have been playing below where we expected them to play at. Cleveland at KC, Mackenzie at Duffy. Under is my look here. 8.5 is way too high. Jenny Duffy is amazing. I talked about the KC team and especially the pitching that they should regress. Duffy has a zero point 0.6 ERA, but a 3.5 Sierra. But the 3.5 Sierra is still very good, and he has a 14% swinging strike rate, and all the underlying stats are nice. And Cleveland is easily a below average offense against left-handed pitching. So yeah, I'm liking Duffy and Mackenzie on the other side. Um, there are some issues with him: 62% fly ball rate, 40% hot hit rate, 28% line drive rate. But he's missing bats. He has a 14% swinging strike rate with a 35% K rate, and his contact rate is only at 65%. And he is a positive regression candidate. Got super unlucky so far. I think he can handle Casey. Casey has been one of the biggest overperformers offensively. I think Duffy will roll. He will go deep into this game. Cleveland is a bad offense, but I think McKenzie is good enough to keep this game under. And 8.5 is just outrageous. This should be an 8. Toronto at Oakland, Ryu at Fires. Ryu coming back from the injury list. This is his first start on the road against the right-handed heavy Oakland team. That's a pretty okay offense. I won't be backing him. Jay is also without George Springer, who went back to the IL. So many injuries to key guys this year. It's insane. Mike Fiers for Oakland. He hasn't been good for like 5 years, but he had one outing only, if I recall it correctly, but he was extremely bad, almost a 90% contact rate with only a 4.8% swinging strike rate. Velocity down almost one tick. He got super lucky with low batting average against and the 96% left on base rate, but Mike Fiers is bad, and even without Springer, the Jays should roll here. But I want to see Ryu fully healthy. He had a pretty long layoff on the road, and as I said, the Oakland bats can do some damage. So I'm staying away. My line here is minus 127. Current line on Pinnacle minus 133. Atlanta at Washington, Smiley at Leicester. 9 is the total, and it's juiced to the over. Basically a pick'em game. Atlanta slight favorite. I agree with the favorite, but neither guy is good here. Both are lefties. The Nationals have been pretty good against lefties so far, while the Braves have been struggling. It's really interesting that the Nats have been one of the best offenses against left-handed pitching so far, and the Braves one of the worst. But obviously, we are early in the season and very low sample size. So, yeah, both guys are terrible. Lester is the worst of the two. He has a Sierra of almost 6, a negative 4.8% K minus walk ratio, only a 7% swinging strike rate, 84% contact rate, 40% hard hit rate. It's very, very bad. I mean, I think Atlanta will put up 5, 6, 7 runs on Leicester. Smiley could have an okay game, but he has an 8 FIP or worse against both sides, and a 400 WOBA or worse against both sides, and a 40% hard contact rate. He's missing some bats here and there, but not the guy I would trust. But you won't find me betting an over with a total this high. So yeah, I think bookmakers figured this one out. And yeah, these both of the side lines, both the money line and the total is efficient. Arizona at Miami, Bumgarner at Pablo Lopez, 7.5 total. This should be a 7, although the 7.5 is getting really juiced. So basically, it's a 7. At 7, I'm fine with it. If you find a 7.5 that's not like minus 122 like we see at some shops, I would be looking at the under. Baumgartner had 3 pretty good starts in a row when he gave up 1 earned run or less. He's missing bats, 12% swinging strike rate, 92 mile per hour fastball, 91 and a half. He's looking all right. He's still giving up some hard contact, but I mean, Miami, they're still stronger against lefties, but not by much. And Baumgartner missing enough bats. He looks healthy. He's confident, and this Miami offense isn't one that's scaring me. Pablo Lopez, you know the deal. One of my favorite pitchers in the league. D-backs are banged up, well below league average offense. Great park for pitching. Pablo is just super confident, low hard contact, sub 30%, ground ball rate at almost 50%. He's just a stud, really. I like both arms. Great spot, great park. Two bad offenses. This should be a 7, maybe even a 6.5. But yeah, 7. That's fair. Tampa Bay at the LA Angels, Fleming at Heaney. This will be Colin McHugh making the start, but he will only pitch like a few innings, and Fleming will pitch the bulk of the innings. Fleming is not a guy I love. His Sierra is over 5. He has an 11% walk rate. Swinging strike rate below league average. He basically has a 57% ground ball rate, and he survives by forcing ground balls and not giving up too many barrels. Just a 23% hard hit rate, but not the guy I would love really. He is lucky as the Angels are now without Rendon, and there are some other guys questionable. They are a bit banged up. He maybe could survive. Colin McHugh hasn't been too good so far in the early going. He only pitched like 4 1 inning outings for the Rays. Heaney, on the other end, is a guy I fully trust. His Sierra is 2 runs lower than his actual ERA. Almost a 15% swinging strike rate, hard hit rate at 32%, contact rate under 70%. He has a 3.8 FIP or better and a 300 WOBA or better against both sides. Velocity also up 1 mile per hour on his fastball. Only issue is walks, but I can live with that if he is missing this many bats and looking this good. Rays, Tampa Bay striking out 31% so far this season against left-handed pitching. Yeah, the game is off the board. My only issue is really that Rendon is out, and there are some questionables. Upton, Stassi, both questionable for the Angels. And this team has really played, I think, above their head a bit. So yeah, I think the Angels will be favorites here. If they are if this is close to a pick 'em, I will be certainly backing the Angels. But if they are like minus 140ish, I'm out. All right, let's sum this up. Milwaukee, Philly, Woodruff, Wheeler, 7 total under is my play. I will be looking to back the Houston Astros if this line reaches plus 180. I haven't played the over in the Cardinals game yet, but 7.5, in my opinion, is too low with these two starters. But I'm likely staying off. It's a bit messy game. But I think both of these arms are pretty bad. I like the under 8 in the KC game. Duffy will likely roll, and McKenzie has some nice swing and miss stuff, and KC's offense has been overperforming. And I like the under in the Arizona-Miami game with Baumgartner and Pablo Lopez, 7.5. It's getting to 7 soon. If you find an okay 7.5, you should get on that. And I will be looking at the Angels money line if we get a bargain, but I'm expecting like something like minus 140 or minus 150 even. Yeah, I'm not paying that much extra to back Heaney here. All right, less than 30 minutes, both slates broken down. Thanks for tuning in. If you want to tell my plays, you can go to patreon.com/thebarrelzone and join the Discord channel. I will be back on Friday at the same time. Good luck with your wagers and enjoy your day. Peace out.